Alright, hey guys, Pax, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. In this video, we'll be going over the future for Pokemon Pocket, specifically in competitive play. As you can see from this article, no plans, yeah. But yeah, in this video, we'll go over why that's the case for now at least. But before we get into this article, I just want to quickly mention, trailer is coming out tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah, the official Pokemon Pocket Twitter released this teaser. We're just going to briefly look at it. I don't want this to be the main focus of this video, but just a little heads up for you guys watching. I'm definitely going to make a video once the trailer does drop. If you're watching this a little bit into the future, then it's probably already out. So I suggest checking that out. And yeah, this is the little teaser trailer we got. Nice. That was okay. If you're a huge Scarlet and Violet fan, then props to you. Personally, I can't wait to see Meowscarada EX. Hopefully that happens. But yeah, again, I'll be covering this once the trailer does come out. And if you guys are curious when the trailer will drop, February 19th at 1400 UTC time. For me, I'm in PST, that's 6 a.m. So just kind of use a converter to find out which time that is for you. Anyways, let's get right into the main article. So this article came out yesterday, at least from the time I'm recording this video, made by Josh Chalice. I'll leave the link to the article in the description below from Insider Gaming. And as you can see from the title, Pokemon has no plans for TCG Pocket to become a major competitive game. That's a huge statement because I'll get more into it later on, but just looking at its competitors, I feel like it's proper to make this more competitive, at least when it comes to this like competitive play, like esports and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going down the article. There are no immediate plans for Pokemon TCG Pocket to emerge as the next big genre in the competitive scene. Pokemon's Director of Global Esports and Events, Chris Brown, revealed. No relation to this Chris Brown, but interesting coincidence that they have the same name. Pokemon TCG Pocket has exploded in popularity. No plans to provide an official esports scene for a title. The game will remain a side event at competitive tournaments. Now, you can interpret this a lot of ways. Personally, I interpret it as it's not built for competitive play. I mean, I can kind of see that. I feel like this game does require a lot of RNG. But again, looking at other competitors such as Duel Links, I feel like that's like the straight up, like, I think best comparison to Pokemon Pocket, especially since Duel Links does kind of change the core fundamentals of Yu-Gi-Oh! Slightly, especially for like a mobile scene. Instead of having 5 Pokemon, you have 3 Pokemon. A few other changes as well, such as player abilities. Shout out to people who actually played Duel Links back in the day when Subterra was huge. I remember that being super broken because of the player ability, like of one of the characters you could choose. The ability is very broken paired with Subterra. Then, of course, they got nerfed to the ground. I digress. At Pokemon EUIC in London, Brown said that the current approach for Pokemon TCG Pocket feels great currently. And while there are discussions to improve the overall experience for Pocket players, this doesn't include adding the game to the competitive schedule. With Pocket, what feels great for us right now is the side events, a casual way for people to meet up. We are talking through things like how we can encourage trading. We want to support the Pocket community at the shows, but there are no plans for it to be a main title. And then looking at the main titles currently, so we have 4 genres, the main TCG, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite, and VGC. And yeah, that's the article. So rather short, but it is somewhat revealing when it comes to kind of like the future of this game. So it does seem like they want to make it more casual. I feel like core essence of this game is a casual collecting experience. That's why we have like shinies that nobody cares about. There's definitely a bunch of shinies that are like, if I get it from a pack, I'm like, nice. Sure, your mileage may vary, you guys watching, but for me, when I see a shiny, I'm like, that's cool, whatever. Like, I would much prefer like a full art or like a EX if I'm still missing some cards from the booster pack. This is pretty rough because I feel like they could easily do it. They could easily make this a competitive, like give it a competitive scene esports wise. Sure, it's basically RNG because when you look at the PvP in this game, it essentially dials down to RNG. Whoever has the better hand wins. Some of the best decks in the meta, such as like Hydreigon and Suicune, they're good, but you can just brick still. Like, it's still possible. Granted, I mean, with all your supports in the deck, it's very unlikely, especially with Copycat, Suicune's ability. Even then, there is still that issue. Like, I've had games in like Master Ball, in like Ultra Ball, where like I would beat my opponent because they just brick. Like, we're doing a mirror match, Hydreigon Mega Absol versus Hydreigon Mega Absol. I just get a better hand, opponent just has one Dino, and it's just GG. Like, these things do happen. And I feel like if the main TCG is a competitive game, then I feel like Pocket should be as well. I think the main issue is that they don't see it as a worthy investment. Because I mean, when you open these like esports events, like spending a lot of money. It's like, as a company, like you're investing a lot, and I don't think they see a return just yet. That might be tied to retention rate. I did make a video on my channel talking about this game's loss in player retention rate, which is an ongoing issue. So that might be tied to it. Personally, I feel like having an esports scene will help this game a lot. Because looking at the community already, we have weekly tournaments. Yeah. And it would be pretty cool to see that in like a much grander scale, far better rewards for players who do win. And overall, it's healthy for the game. Because I mean, this is a huge scene, the competitive scene. It's good to just get people in, the people who haven't played Pokemon Pocket just yet. They're like, they see this and they're like, hey, this looks pretty cool. Might as well try it. Don't get me wrong, player ran tournaments are pretty cool. It keeps the Pokemon Pocket scene very lively. But at the same time, it would be pretty cool to see something that's like official, you know, like from an official tournament for Pokemon Pocket. That'd be pretty nice. Speaking of which, they can very much add as a quality of life feature. It'll be pretty cool if they do add like a tournament mode for Pokemon Pocket. It'll just make things a lot easier for people who host tournaments. I don't know how long that'll take, but there's a little quality of life feature. When it comes to the pyramid of like what we need for quality of life, I feel like that might be in the lower end. Dark mode better come, please. We definitely need that sometime soon. But yes, this is very eye-opening. Keep in mind, this is subject to change. I feel like Chris Brown was very careful with his response. So going back over here, with Pocket, what feels great for us right now. So right now is side event. So that could change in the future. It really is ultimately up to the community. Yeah, so if they ever do like another survey, hopefully they do ask like, do you want to see more like of a competitive scene in Pokemon Pocket? And then looking at the community feedback, let's see what they think. So it was always said that Pocket is a game focused on collecting cards, not on PvP gameplay. Yeah, so that does make sense. If you think about it, I mean, ranked was, I wouldn't be surprised if Dina wasn't thinking of ranked initially, you know, like, because when the game first came out, it was just casual PvP. And then eventually we got emblem events. They're nice, not too competitive. Then months later, we did get ranked. So I feel like they implemented ranked because of the community. The community wanted something more competitive. They wanted to boost retention rate, so they did that. And then nowadays, I mean, a lot of people are quitting because the rank grind is pretty tough, depending on partially your RNG and also a bit of skill as well. Also, the new decks is keeping up with the meta. But this is interesting because, yeah, Magikarp responded, well, like Pokemon Go. And if you think about Pokemon Go, yeah, the main draw is to collect Pokemon, you gotta catch them all. So if Pokemon Go has a competitive scene, and the main draw for that game is collecting Pokemon, I feel like Pocket should have it as well. You know, it only feels fitting, but comparing Pokemon Go to Pokemon Pocket, Pokemon Go, at least when it comes to its prime, was far more successful. It was pretty crazy. This game almost got me mugged and beat up twice. That's a story for another day, but yeah, Pokemon Go, a lot of fun memories with that game, personally, but yes. So with that being said, I really do feel like it's fitting for Pokemon Pocket to see competitive play because of Pokemon Go having that. And after playing Pokemon Go's PvP, I feel like Pocket is far more complex. A lot of button mashing, but again, it really is up to you. Personally, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like Pokemon Go's fighting mechanics or not. I think with this news, they kicked out 70% of players who play PvP. Yeah, I just feel like staying in Ultra Ball. Personally, for me, it's like I'm not really that angry. I'm just like kind of disappointed. I'm like, damn, that sucks. Personally, I mean, some people who do spend like a far more hours playing ranked than I do, then yeah, you might be like, damn, this kind of sucks. I feel like this is kind of like a punch in my direction. I invested so much time in this game, and then they're like, you can't even get into competitive play. But personally, for me, I'm fine with the community run tournaments, just staying as it is. Remove the Shine Dust BS first. I know they are bringing something new to trading. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but the guy did mention that they do want to focus on encouraging trading, so they could change the Shine Dust requirement. I can very much see that. So I know they are bringing something new to trade, like a ticket or something that makes easier trading or let you trade specific cards. That'd be pretty cool. Imagine each month they just give out like a 1-star ticket or like a 2-star gold ticket, like something you can just trade cards that usually require like what, 25,000 Shine Dust. Basically just redeem that ticket and then just like that. Or just again lower the Shine Dust requirements. The game has tremendous UX flaws that I doubt Dina is going to fix. They're experts at making extremely greedy gacha games. What are the flaws? Just curious. Let's check this out. The Wonder Shit system, yes. For example, it's still a piece of shit, They admitted they have trouble retaining players, and it's obvious with no real incentives to play. The Wondership power to repeat the role multiple times, for example, the dust price on exchanges, etc. It is awkward. Again, I mentioned this before, but Dina's very slow at updating the game. They do it they gradually do it over time. Like they add like a little bit of changes, yeah, but it takes a while. And then their announcements suck. Like, yeah, I went over this before, but if you guys recall, they did promise to release quality of life features at the end of summer 2026. And they announced this during fall. And I was told, I do understand like summer does vary depending where you're at. Some places currently it is summer. So yeah, we could get those changes sometime soon. It's really their fault. Nevertheless, they should have been better with the wording. They should have just said months. Like why seasons? Seasons varies depending on where you're at. And this is a global game. So just say like by the end of like July. Because I mean, unless you're using a different calendar, everyone uses the Roman calendar. So really doesn't make any sense. The same thing was said at some point about Pokemon Go. And just look at how things are today. When they get bored of Unite, Pocket will come along. That plus they really need to implement a system to make the best of threes fairer. All right, so according to Google AI, the first high-profile competitive Pokemon Go tournament was held in early 2020 with the launch of the Go Battle League. Pokemon Pocket came out the summer of 2016. Not Pocket. Pokemon Go came out 2016. So around 4 years. That's when we've got our first competitive tournament. We'll have to wait 5 years, maybe. We shall see. It really depends on the game's direction. I would very much like to see them add more PvE elements to the game. I did mention this in my previous video, the one where I was talking about the ongoing problem, the retention rate. I do suggest checking that out on my channel. PvE is nice. If they want to kind of have a casual, like keep the game somewhat casual, not too competitive, I feel like that's the best direction, is to do that. Keep ranked, like just improve ranked slightly over time, but focus more on PvE. Like Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go has a bit of PvE. Like we got the Team Rocket stuff, of course, what is it called? The raid battles. That's always been a thing in the game. And yeah, those are just some opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Just to summarize what I said, this game should have a competitive scene while also focusing on what Chris Brown stated. So looking at this, encourage trading, that's pretty nice. Just kind of overall just supporting the community. And again, looking at other competitors such as Duel Links. Yeah, Duel Links is a stable point in Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments as well. They have like their little genre. So if Duel Links has it, then I feel like Pokemon Pocket should. Now granted, Duel Links I feel like had a lot going for itself when it first came out. Like when it comes to like stuff you have to grind, I feel like in Duel Links like you have so much stuff to grind, like characters and stuff like that. Whereas for Pocket, it just feels very stale after a while. So yeah, I don't think they want to make it a grind fest. Like they can easily add something like, I mean, you can probably argue like the random battles is kind of a grind fest. For one of the missions, I think you have to get like 50 points. So it takes a while, but not too long as other gacha games such as Dokkan Battle. But looking at Dokkan Battle, game is doing good. So yeah, it really is up to you as a player. But yeah, that's the video. Again, hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like, subscribe. And also again, keep in mind, I will be making a video once the trailer for the new booster pack drops. And yeah, that's pretty much the video, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace.